The WWC, what the world is watching.
Keeping up with her.
Right? There's nothing to, there's no damage being done here to you when you hit the crystal boss. So why is that an important thing to talk about? Well, some people have brought up that although you have things like gear, so if I look at radar here, you see what radar, the red radar adds, which is the HP, right? Like it does as it goes up. And so the HP increase doesn't do anything for you for the crystal boss as you're going forward. So what people are suggesting is actually you replace the radar and instead use this blue radar. And why blue radar? Why the hell would I use the blue radar? Well, the blue radar actually lifts the hero attack up as you and I thought one of the important things to pick up that they said there is the crystal boss operates as a special independent challenge with unique battle mechanics. So things like this where a blue radar works better is something you should be thinking about outside the box. How can I increase things like, my attack or different things, knowing that health points don't work, right? So I 100% would look into those things, try that stuff out. Now, the flip side of this, okay? I also saw the damage increase that this did by increasing. I think somebody raised this to level 15 or whatever. The damage increase was not enough for me because here's the downside of what I would coach you on and what I don't think. You're going to have to spend gold on a blue radar that you are not going to be using outside of this. So if the advantage isn't enormous enough to bring you to some extra reward or get you like amethysts that are going to buy you something extra, I would not encourage you to spend your gold on something like lifting up radar that you're only going to lose. You're going to have to sell. And remember, when you sell back gear, you lose your gold. And what's incredibly important in this game, you use your stamina to collect that gold. Gold in tactical is expensive. If you're earlier playing this game, gold in everything is expensive. Special forces, your hero tree. Gold is just expensive everywhere, right? It's hard to get that gold. So I would encourage you not in this game at all to lift gear up that you have to sell back. A loss of gold is a horrible return on investment for something because you don't get that stuff back and you're wasting it out there. So I would say don't do that. But I do encourage you experiment out there. Find different ways to do it. It is information. If you find it worth it, at least.
Isn't it? Sometimes what is obvious isn't quite the best. And it might not be something like a blue radar. Who would have thought of that? But it's it's those fine margins. If you're close to another upgrade level on the crystal boss, it all adds up. It's free gold bricks, it's free silver bricks, it's free weekly passes.
Agreed. I will say I think it also needs to be let to determine. I was around here I love to sit here and spreadsheet everything out and whatever, and I was looking at it. I don't know what the level increase is going to be. So just after the last up, we are at level 11 now for the Crystal Factory. It's doing the daily tasks, so everybody should be at that at this point if you're doing your daily tasks. And I mean, just looking at the math right now, it looks like myself at my strength, I'm barely looking at breaking 120,000 crystals. Now, I don't know what the increase is going to be per day. It's working out to being about 10,000 free per month as far as the collection goes. 10,000 extra amethysts in 30 days, which isn't a lot. And so that'll increase as the levels go up and that'll change. But it's just saying 120,000, what will 120,000 is what I need to just clear these out and not be on diamonds. So if you're not as strong as me and you weren't able to get as many of these amethysts from hitting the boss, you may be behind that 120, which I bring that up because a free-to-play player who is behind or weaker or whatever, you really have to make decisions on what you're buying in here, not just selecting anything. And I highlighted this the other day that one thing I would not be spending on necessarily is this weekly pass. Because
100% agree.
Because although they dangle it in front of you as 5 things that you can get, I only think 3 are worth it from my perspective. And from you, you can really pick one to get out of there and get it back. Those gold bricks, those silver bricks are incredibly important to what you can buy in the game. And it's not telling you a specific thing. It's allowing you to pick what you want. And so I love those. I love that.
Very early on that first morning, I'd looked at that, and my advice to Ro was, if you're buying the event packs already, get the silver bricks first. If you're not, get the gold bricks. You know, they give you so much more flexibility. You can spend it whenever you want, and that seems to be the general consensus now. But it depends on your spend level. You know what you get out of it. But the weekly pass to me doesn't seem like it's that great.
Agree. It's great. Hold on. I don't like the entire pass, so I agree with you. The things that are in there are great, right? But it's just the weekly pass is just more than you need. If you can get it on top of everything else, it's phenomenal. But you just have to really, instead of just jumping at it, I just want people to be careful estimating what they're going to have for these amethysts, and people just see something and start clicking on it. Be careful how you're spending those amethysts. Are you going to have enough to get everything? You have to figure that out at your level. I mean, just the bricks by themselves, understand, is 30,000. Now that's just the bricks. Then you go, like you just said, you encourage people with the silver bricks. That's 60,000. So where are you going to end up is incredibly important. And the first 30 days is going to be more important than recalculating the second 30 days, because you're building how many you're going to get in this level. Like, does this level go up to 35? How high does your average output per 3 hours? We don't really know yet at the increases what they're going to be. Does it stay 4?
We've also only got
what's that?
Sorry, we've also only got 2 weeks before the store refreshes. So it's it refreshes at the start of every month.
Yeah.
So we've got 14 or a little less now, 12 days till it refreshes.
Right. Exactly. So you got to have it ready. And that's the thing, but I'm saying, like, it's going to take us, a while to build this up to level 35, if that's what it's going to be. And this output goes out. And I've learned from this game now that I don't want to project that it's going to go up at the same increments every single time. I've been burned by that, especially with awakening skills, where the increase is what you expected. So we'll see how that goes and what that's like. But it's important to wait to figure out how you're going to spend this. And like you said, start with your silver bricks then. Silver bricks or your gold bricks. You can't go wrong. Those are 2 things that you're going to want to take. And wait on the other stuff.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the best way going forward until, at least up until there's a little bit more information that's readily available for people to then, decide how they want to obtain them and how they want to.
Smart move. I highly encourage that. Yeah, definitely the bricks are the way to go. Gentlemen, anything else to give the audience before we cut out on this wonderful Friday morning show for me? Friday day. QB18 out. Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified when our next video drops, and continue the conversation with us over on our Discord. Proud member of Team UXW and Server 118. Congratulations to the team on winning Season 6.
Yeah!